putting the spotlight on local businesses in the capital city. This is 402 Business Insider with Travis Filing and Gary Tharnish on 1499.3 KLIN.
Yeah. Oh, what a great bumper.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite tunes of all time. Good morning, Lincoln. It's Travis Filing and Gary Tharnish, and you're listening to the 402 Business Insider. We've been doing this show for about a year now.
Yeah.
But now we're on KLIN. Look at us.
I know.
We're
awesome.
Finally playing the Palace.
That's right. Yes.
I'm so excited to be here. This is such a great radio station. I actually worked for KLIN for about 8 years, back in 2000 to 2007, something like that. Just a great place. And I'm just so happy to be back. Just love it.
And I wrote tons of checks to Broadcast House over the years with my business. I advertise on this station all the time, so love it.
I still write checks to this radio station.
Exactly.
Because just a little background about us. I own a marketing firm and have for 24 years now. And so, we do send a lot of checks this way because this is such a great radio station. So
right. It is.
And you are also a business owner. You owned Burton Terrell's for 39 years.
Correct.
And great flower shop. It's so funny because when I lived in Denver and was dating my now wife, the first phone call I made, I called down, I think I called the chamber or something like that, trying to find who do I go send flowers to? Because this is long before, not before the internet, but long before it was accessible to us commoners, so to speak. And I called down and they said, oh, yeah, call Burton's, because it was just Burton's back then.
Right, yeah.
And I called up and I probably even talked to you and sent a bouquet of flowers to my wife. So.
And she used to work for me.
Yes,
so
she did.
Of course, knew who she was, for sure.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, I was thinking, introducing myself to Lincoln. I know a lot of Lincoln already, but I was thinking business-wise, really my first business was when I was 8. And back then, I delivered newspapers over by Woods Park area. And, that was my first foray into accounts receivable, because you'd deliver the papers, the Journal Star would charge you, and then you had to go out and collect from your customers. And you'd be like, third month and they haven't paid, and you're like, hello, would you please answer the door and pay?
Oh, my gosh.
I kind of been doing business forever.
See, where I grew up, you did not. I grew up in Cleveland, and not in the nice part of Cleveland. Well, there is no nice part of Cleveland. But there was no, you don't send your 8-year-old kid around knocking on doors and trying to collect money. So that would be a tough gig. That would have to give you some iron guts to go ask adults for money.
Yeah. One thing I love about our show and what we're doing is interviewing and talking to people that are in the business community, especially those that have started the business on their own with nothing.
Yeah.
And getting to know those people. What is it that has made them successful? Why did they choose the path, or how? Was it thrown in their lap? Is it their dream and what they think of it? And I love that we do that.
Yeah. And the whole idea behind our show is to talk to these business owners and to have conversations about the good times, the hard times, how you got started into it, how you have persevered through, we went through COVID. We went through the economic downturn of 2007, 2008, and
2001.
2001. Yeah,
Huge.
I luckily wasn't in business in 2001, but you certainly were.
Oh, yeah. That's a whole 5-hour show. What happened to me? But yes,
we'll have to cancel the basketball game today so we can get into your 5-hour show.
Oh yeah, nobody wants to hear that.
But I just love that we can get people in here from Lincoln who have started their businesses and just share the trials and tribulations of business ownership. We also give out some advice, some ideas. We occasionally take call-ins. We'll take texts. So if people have questions about business or questions of the business owners that we are interviewing, so we take texts and we just share. Yep. We know as a business owner, you feel like you're out on an island. You're the only one going through whatever it is that you're going through. And I assure you, you are not.
Well, yeah, and the importance in owning a business is, and in life in general, is to know when to ask for help and not be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing. A lot of businesses that I saw that tanked in the first year, 2, 3 years, they're not reaching out to other people that are either doing the same business or in business in general, saying, hey, this issue's come up. How did you deal with it? How would you deal with it? I was horrible at that for my first 15 or so years in business because I grew up in a family where, I love my dad. I have a great family. He was amazing, but he was not a risk taker.
Right.
My mom was the complete opposite. And so I kind of got that part from her, but he was the type that's like, you don't ask for help. You just deal with it. You figure it out, so on and so forth. But in business, it's so important to ask those around you. That's why associations can be so important, networking, all of that sort of thing.
Sure.
And that's a great thing. Another thing I found very interesting when I first opened my business is that according to all my friends and other people, well, not friends that really knew me because I made them pay sometimes, but people that were just, the minute you become a business owner, you're wealthy.
Oh, yeah.
And rich. And you get to take off all the time you
Yeah.
want. That's the best thing about owning a business.
It was so funny because when I started preparing, because we haven't really done a introductory show before, obviously. So I was kind of going through the internet and trying to find different topics to talk about. And that was one of the things that came up is as soon as you hang out your shingle, everybody thinks you're rich.
Yep.
And let me tell you, you are not.
And the other thing about sole proprietor, especially if you're a business and you have 2 employees, three employees, all of a sudden you're HR, which is a whole nother world. I think my biggest shock when I opened a business, even though I'd worked in that field for 4 or 5 years before I opened a business in that field, was not realizing all the hats you have to wear when you are a small business owner. And it's different today than it was then. I think technology can be a big help. It can also be a hindrance. You need to be careful, obviously. But suddenly, and HR, honestly, HR, I was sent out into the hallway all the time to talk to myself for HR. That was the biggest, I was probably the biggest problem. But it was just interesting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And those are things that you never really get training on. All these different hats that you have to wear. And, back to as soon as you're hanging out your shingle, you get an employee or two. It's so important to have peers and have people who talk business, who know business, because a lot of times you have this fear like, I don't want to ask any questions because I don't want people to think my business that we don't know how to handle HR or that we may be struggling through a financial problem, because you don't want people to get this feeling like, oh man, Travis's ad agency isn't doing very well. No, it's doing fine. We've just never had this particular problem before.
Exactly.
And even though we are 24 years into business, we're still hitting problems that we have yet to see in our 24 years. Now, they're becoming fewer and far between, thank God, but we've also built up a network and of people that we can call and talk to. And to this day, you and I still talk about different problems that I'm having in business or you're having in business, because you need that help. And that's why this show is here.
Most of the basics of owning a business are the same as they were, forever. That type of thing. However, technology and the speed at which technology changes, man, you have to be ready to change and pivot all the time, be quick at it, know what you're doing. IT's not my thing,
right?
And in my job now as a realtor, technology, hello, you see it, everywhere, and you have to change and pivot constantly. And it's so important in business. I see a lot of businesses that it's like, I had a buddy ask me not that long ago. He goes, I don't know what's going on, but our sales have gone down. And I go, well, I will tell you my opinion if you want, but I'm blunt. And you still got to be my friend when we're done.
Yeah.
But it's like your business is tired. It's tired looking. It's a tired image. You haven't changed and modified behavior or the look or anything in all these years, where now it's like, everybody's at the newest, latest everything because you're just not coming along with it. So
right.
It's important. There's so many things in business.
It is. And there are times to reinvent. There's time to make changes. And there's times to kind of hold tight and make sure.
That's lyrics in a Beatles song.
Is
almost.
Is it really?
A time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess that is, isn't it?
Just teasing you.
That's right. Well, where do you think they got the idea from?
Not you. Give me a break.
But, again, it's one of those problems in business where you get so tied into it. You get in so deep, you get those blinders on, and you don't see them. All you see are numbers are going down.
Yeah. And when you talk about blinders, one of the best things I did in the early 90s was I was just feeling a sense of things aren't going right and everything. At the end of the day, it was all because of me. But of course, you don't see that.
Right.
But the gal that I hired that came in and worked with our company for a year was quite amazing. After a while, she's like, your inner perception of your business really does not match the outer perception of your business. So all of your clients and your customer, how they perceive you is probably not how you perceive your business. And I see that a lot with business people where they think, hey, we've had meetings, we've established this, we think it's going to be great, we're wonderful at this. And then in the end, it isn't really. So one thing she had us do is a retreat, and we wrote down what the top 10 things we thought we were good at. And our number one thing was service. We are the best in service in town. So then I gave her my charge card. I don't know why, but no, she took 12 of my clients, really good clients, and a diverse type of clients, some corporate, some just, personal mom sure. and pop thing, out to dinner and asked them all these same questions. And they came back, and our number one was number 9.
Oh, man.
We thought we were the best at service, and they're like, yeah, that's number 9. You're like, you really kind of suck at service. We were like, whoa, what? But it's easy to get, like you were saying, you're just in your little business you're doing every day. You're just not really thinking, how do people perceive us? And that can go across a range of everything.
So why did they think you sucked at service?
Because we did. So,
well, there you go.
Well, we thought we were super friendly and easy to talk to, and our stuff was great because we would cut out. So we're delivering all over Lincoln, right?
Okay.
So that's a challenge. I mean, Lincoln Streets, it's hard to get from Southeast
Especially
Lincoln.
back then, because there was no Google Maps.
Northeast Lincoln. Right, exactly. You'd be in the phone book.
B7. It's like playing Battleship with that old...
Google Maps aren't the best either. I've been out in the middle of a country with a flower arrangement, and it's like, you've arrived. And I'm like, there are cornfields on every direction I'm looking, so I haven't arrived. But anyway, aside, and we would like cut off deliveries for the day at 1:30, right?
Okay.
So you would get a guy that would call at 1:40. Hey, I forgot, it's my anniversary. I need flowers sent. We're done delivering for the day. Are you kidding me? It's my anniversary. Well, we could deliver tomorrow. Okay, that's not the dumbest thing to say. Like, sure, we'll deliver your flowers a day late. You're already in trouble. So that was one of the big things, right? So they were like, and so we regrouped and we went, why just cut off at 1:30? It's like from 1:30 till 3, if you need something delivered, it's double the delivery, or, time and a half the delivery fee. If it's after 3, then we're going to go, and it's $20 delivery or whatever. So, and it made all the difference in the world.
And forgot my anniversary guy, he's going to pay you $200.
Exactly.
Because the amount of clucking that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Big
exactly.
time. But what great, valuable inside information to get about your business that you don't even, and a new revenue stream.
Right. Right.
You guys probably got a lot of good revenue out of it.
Made a huge difference. We would get calls from people that said, hey, nobody else in town, I guess, can deliver. I usually use ABC Floral, but I'm going to use you guys because they said you do it. Yeah, we'll do it. So, it was a great thing in the long run. But had we never really looked outside of where we were, that wouldn't have happened.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. See, and that's exactly what business owners need to hear. That's such great business advice. Well, I know we got about a minute left here, so I want to give a quick shout out to a couple of our sponsors. One of them is Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Love these guys. We appreciate. I called them up and said, "Hey, we're moving to KLIN." They said, "Well, you got to bring us along with you." So
awesome.
We're happy to have them. You are listening to the 402 Business Insider on 1499.3 KLIN. We'll be right back.
Stories of local success. 402 Business Insider on 1499.3 KLIN.
All right, Lincoln, you are listening to the 402 Business Insider. And, man, I'm just over here kind of grooving, Amy, the GM here at KLIN, she hooked us up. We got Steve and David, who are our producers here today, fellas. I appreciate you guys being here. And, Steve just kind of put together all these bumpers. He just must have locked into my brain and go, oh, I know Travis. Well, we actually worked together for a long time. We were here at KLIN back 2000. I was here 2000 to 2008, and you were here for most of them. So love having you guys here. And David's new to the station. He's going to be our producer moving forward. So I know Steve will be here for the next couple of weeks. And but yeah, you're listening to the 402 Business Insider, and we're just talking business. We love business, except when we hate our business. But for the most part, we love our business. Some things that as I was kind of researching, I came across a bunch of different things that people say in business. And one of them, I'm going to read this. I didn't share this with you just because I want to get your reaction. This is business advice. Oh, yeah. When opening a business, you need to perfectly balance your personal life with your business life.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh,
There's so much perfect involved in the reality of that. In other words, if you're married, make sure your spouse understands they're going to be widowed a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Yeah. I read that and I laughed and I'm like, there is no way this person opened a business, started a business, runs a business. If they did, they're out of business. I guarantee it.
Yeah, be careful where you get your business advice, right?
Oh.
I mean, I love the books that come out, but the person's never owned a business, but they know all about it because they went to school. That's always really fun. In my industry, I had achieved a certification of being a professional floral speaker. So I would travel around the country and speak to people in my industry, and often they would come up afterwards and they'd go like, it's so nice to hear a speaker that's actually walking the walk, you know, like you own the business, you know what it's like. You know, you get other speakers in that were like, you know, knew all about it, but then never did the job.
Never hung the shingle out.
And that just makes a huge difference. Yeah. And if you're thinking about owning a business and buying a business or starting something, talk to somebody already doing that business or something similar.
Right.
And really get a good idea. Because you could read stuff. Heck, you could be a member of a business organization here in Lincoln that's run by somebody that never owned their own business.
Yeah, they're drawing a paycheck.
You know, that makes a big difference.
Huge.
And there's highs and lows. The perfect balance is a dream. I'm still trying to do that. I was going to take yesterday off. I needed a day off. It was going to be a great day. We were going to have a lot of fun, and I worked from 9 to 7.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, now I'm taking the afternoon off unless the phone rings. I mean, in my type of job as a realtor, you go when you have to, you know, so it's interesting. But and then there are other joys with it too. You know, I mean, I'm on a real estate team, so I went to Spain for the month of February a year ago, and people covered for me. So how long did it take for me to get there? 40 some years.
Yeah, exactly.
It depends on your business too.
Well, Shannon and I, we sat down, this was probably 2 years ago, and we were kind of laying out just some personal goals within the business, right?
Sure.
And one of our dreams, I'm giving the finger quotes here, is wanted to take Friday afternoons off. Friday noon, we're done. The business can run without us. You know how many times that's happened in the last 2 years?
It hasn't.
Well, the next time will be the first time, right? Because you can't sometimes.
Yeah.
You get down in the nitty gritty, and people who draw a paycheck for a living, they can't understand that.
Yeah, yeah. You know, my balance comes from, I mean, I don't do an 8 to 5 job, obviously, with what I'm doing now.
Right.
My other business I did because we had an open and close sign, right? But in a lot of overtime on top of that. But we did have an open and close sign, right? Now I don't have an open and close sign, really. I mean, pretty much whenever the phone rings, you know, it's my cash register. I call my phone my cash register. When it rings, I'm going to answer it. But also my balance now that I've developed is that I don't have to be busy all the time. I'm an office guy. I could work from home 100% of the time. I like to go into the office. I learned from other people in the office. I'm more focused in the office because I have ADHD, WTTPPYXD, or something that they haven't even found yet. But I'm sure I could be their guinea pig for fixing it. And I learn a lot there. But maybe 12:31 in the afternoon, I'm free till people want to start looking at houses when they get off work, right? Which might be 3:34. And so that's kind of my sweet spot of I can have some me time, practice drums, piano, and just have a good time or whatever I want to do. So I find balance that way. It might not be where people think balance of you own your own business, you work 8 to 5 and you have the weekends off.
Yeah.
Some industries, sure, that might be the case. You know, if you're in a manufacturing business or something like that. So,
well, and when you hang out your shingle, there's something that happens to you that when people who don't own a business, if you draw a paycheck, and I'm not getting down on people who draw paychecks, but there's something when you're laying in bed at 2:00 in the morning going, oh my God, how are we going to make payroll this month? Right?
Yeah.
It changes you. It's something that just, it completely changes your understanding of reality. It's something that happens that just burns you and you have to figure out your way through it. There's people you can talk to get advice, but you still got to figure it out. And when you draw a paycheck, they cannot walk you through that. It always reminds me of, because you have kids, I have kids, we have grandkids now because we're getting old. But you remember when your kids were little, maybe infants, first one, and there's one or two people that are giving you parenting advice that don't have kids.
Yes.
You sit there and you look at this person and you try and smile and you try and go, okay, yeah, okay. Well, that never frickin' happens. Never, ever happens because you don't have kids. You can't give me advice on parenting because you haven't been in the trenches. You haven't fought through it. And if you haven't done it, you don't get it. Because that's one of my gripes with business books and these seminars and all these people that are going out saying, we're going to help your business. We're going to give you advice. Okay, tell me about your business. Tell me about the business you owned. Tell me about, you have to vet these people out because they might not know anything about business. They just read a couple of things and are trying to share that information onto you and pretend like they're experts.
Sure.
And it's terrible.
And it's with everything. I remember in the late 90s where I thought I knew everything about education and everything that the teachers were doing wrong. I was just sure of it, whatever. And then I was talking to a buddy of mine who is a teacher who said, why don't you volunteer at your kid's school? So I started volunteering every Wednesday morning at Roper Elementary School, and I did it for 9 years. And it sure did change my view on that because I thought I knew everything from hearing someone else talk about it, but I never walked a day in their shoes. And then you go and you realize, wow, there's kids that come to school ready to learn. There's kids that come to school that haven't eaten a meal. Mm-hmm. There's kids that come to school who were hiding under the bed because mom and dad were fighting all night. And you just go, man, the massive amount of stuff they have to deal with. So it's the same in business. Sometimes from the outside looking in, it's like, man, I'd love to be the owner. Like Gary took off at 1:00 today to golf and came back at 4. That's great. And then when I'm doing 7 weddings on a weekend and it's 11:00 on a Friday night and everybody else is trying to find the number for Uber, I'm still working, right? And they don't see that. So it's interesting. Perception's everything.
It is. One of my favorite stories that you've told, and I'll have you tell it again, is everybody is under the perception that, well, you're the business owner, you're rich, and you have all this money, and you obviously you write yourself paychecks, and tell everybody your paycheck story, where your paychecks were at.
Yeah, sometimes they're just in your drawer and you don't quite get to cash them yet.
Yeah.
I mean, you go through periods like that. It's a really difficult thing. That's why earlier when I said something about having a spouse or significant other, whoever's in your life, make sure they have an entrepreneurial spirit too, because it can be challenging. Now, 3 paydays down the road, you get to cash a whole bunch of money because people finally paid you. But anyway, yeah, it's a lot.
I always laugh because, you're the business owner. You get paid the most. But you also get paid last. That means when the well runs dry, your paychecks go in the top drawer, and you get to open the drawer whenever you want and go, wow, there's $30,000 worth of paychecks in here. I may be able to cash someday.
Yeah,
and maybe not.
Yeah.
Because employees, they need paid. We have made an agreement. You need to get paid. That means, I get paid the most. I get paid last.
Yeah.
And when 2:00 in the morning, when I have a wedding tomorrow that I have to make arrangements for, you're sleeping and I'm working for the paycheck that will be in my drawer soon. So, it's one of those nightmares of business ownership that most people just don't understand. Oh, we're just going to rock out this afternoon. I love these bumpers. Have I mentioned I love the bumpers?
You have mentioned it. I love it.
Well, you are listening to the 402 Business Insider, and we are now on 1400 AM KLIN 99.3 FM, and we will be right back in just a minute.
Okay.
Building business, one story at a time. 402 Business Insider on 1499.3 KLIN.
And you're back to the 402 Business Insider with Travis and Gary. One other thing, I had this list of things that people give new businesses who are starting up. And this one is like nails on a chalkboard to me.
Oh.
Follow your passion. Right?
Yeah.
And it seems like good advice, but just because you're passionate about it doesn't mean you're not going to suck at it.
Yeah.
You can't just go out and just hang out a shingle because you're passionate about something. Now, it helps, but you could be missing a lot of opportunities that are out there. I mean, I'm passionate about marketing. now, right?
Yeah.
But I used to be a cargo pilot. When I moved to Lincoln, I left flying, came here, was doing some odds and ends type jobs, and got into radio.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get into radio. I didn't want to sell radio advertising. Nobody at 5 years old says, "Hey, Travis, when you grow up, what do you want to do?" I want to sell radio ads for a living.
No, you want to be a fireman.
Yeah, exactly. Wasn't my passion. Not at all.
Well, here's kind of the reverse of that. So my passion was in design. I loved it because I'm very, very creative. That's, I was a percussion major and piano minor at university, switched to business, but I love everything creative. And so for me, it was like, wow, this is a great creative life. I was incredibly passionate about it. So I'm the guy that did that. I'd been working in the field, so I was aware of it, but opened up a business because I was super passionate about it, whatever. What I did not realize, and you quickly realize, School of Hard Knocks is everything else that goes with it. And I remember for me, marketing, I was like, oh my gosh, I hate marketing because I feel like I don't know where my money just went. I'm looking at the end of the year and I'm like, wow, I just spent $32,000 on, I don't know what. Did I get more customers? I don't know if I did. Is it working? I don't know if it is. How can you tell? Whatever. And then I realized, you know what? That's a lot of money. I want to really study marketing. So I read a lot of books about it, but also started talking to a lot of people about it and learned a whole lot of different things. Jeff Dostal, a young man that worked here for years,
I remember
actually,
Dostal.
Was one of the guys that helped me the most with that, I think, when he came in and he said, he was just talking about my marketing budget. And I'm thinking, oh man, like radio, really, that's dying out. People are listening to 8 tracks instead. Joking. But anyway, so his advice was great. And I really I love marketing. I learned a lot. Pam Feck taught me a lot about marketing.
Oh, yeah.
And I realized, okay, I've got to do that. But from that passion standpoint, I really could have failed had I not went, okay, I need to find out about this or deal with all these other things. So, passion can be very important and a very helpful thing.
Sure.
It helped me in a whole lot of ways in the industry I was in, but it certainly is not the thing.
Right.
I think the thing is perseverance, the willingness to be able to say what I'm doing isn't working and pivot and change.
Yep.
The belief that you don't know everything, listening to advice and taking that advice. All those things are a challenge. I mean, you don't want to get your business going. I think a lot of these new businesses start and it's like they buy a really big boat, like let's say like the Titanic, and they open up a business and the business is in Pawnee Lake. And then they got to pivot. Well, how long does it take to change this Titanic? Because you're really passionate about it.
Right.
It's something you really, really love.
Right.
It should be great. Why aren't people buying from me? But if you're not willing to modify behavior and listen to other people's experiences and grow from those, that's the thing. And that's where I think networking in business organizations can really help.
Right. And you see a lot of these, looking at, when it comes to learning, again, you have to vet who you're getting your information from, because I look at a lot of these books that are out there and some of the trends that happen within that start because of these books, like Who Moved My Cheese, right? Did you read that?
Oh, yeah.
Turd?
Yeah.
That
I
was
still
a
haven't
terrible
found my
book.
cheese either.
It was, exactly. I mean, it was so overly simplistic that it just... It didn't help anybody do anything, but next thing you know, you have people that are creating seminars and going out and doing that. And a couple other ones were like fish. Fish worked in the Seattle fish market, but in the floral shop, you're not out there throwing flowers around going, throw me some flowers. It doesn't work. And so... Again, you look at it and go, these people have written books and written series of books and seminars, but they have absolutely no idea what it is to run a business, especially a business like yours or mine or whomever.
So I've read lots of those books. I think the key also is to take out of those books what can help you, the little bits and pieces, right? Like they say you go to a conference and you listen to somebody speak for 3 hours about whatever. You walk away with only about 5% of that left in your head, right?
Yeah.
And so I think the key in this little part of our discussion, books, seminars, what you read, who wrote it, the important thing is you can gather, don't sweat the small stuff. I gathered some things from that, but I thought, well, sometimes I really needed to sweat the small stuff. So anyway.
Exactly. Well, then The Fred Factor was a great book. I really enjoyed The Fred Factor.
Yeah.
It's very simple. It's very good. There's some good pieces that you can derive from it. But is it a overall outstanding business book? No, not really.
Yeah.
But at least that one was pretty dang good. So, very good. Well, the Doobie Brothers are taking us out into our next break. And so you are listening. Yeah, I just want to sing. I'm telling you. You're listening to the 402 Business Insider with Travis Filing, Gary Tharnish on 1400 KLIN. We'll be right back.
Lincoln's entrepreneurs, one conversation at a time. 402 Business Insider on 1499.3 KLIN.
And during the break, we were kind of talking about some other business books that we had read, and the one that got me. Did you ever read The 4-Hour Work Week?
I did not, because I away I went, this is completely unrealistic. Now, if I'm an employee getting a check, I would probably frame it and put it on the wall.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I read this book, and of course now he's a multimillionaire because he's made a whole series out of this.
Sure.
From people who think you can actually do a 4-hour work week. And I read the book because it hit the shelves like a tidal wave. Everybody was talking about it, and I'm like, 4-hour work week? Yeah, sign me up. And you start reading through it and go, this guy shows up at like 10 a.m. on Monday, and he just makes all the big decisions in his business, and then he's gone at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And I thought, okay, what exactly is your business? Yeah, he didn't really have a big business. And I thought, what if the Nebraska Cornhuskers football team had a 4-hour work week? How would their business look? What would the performance look like out on the field if you worked 4 hours a week at perfecting your craft?
Maybe that is what was happening.
Maybe it is.
10 or 15 years. Okay, gosh, I hope that doesn't make anybody mad because it was a total joke.
Well,
by the way.
I was thinking as I was telling this, I'm from Cleveland and I'm still a Cleveland Browns season ticket holder. And I thought, well, maybe I should throw the Browns out there. But looking at the Browns, we have a 2-hour work week. They read the what were the notes? What were the Cliff's Notes?
Cliff Notes,
They read the Cliff Notes version of it. But yeah, that was just a absolutely terrible book. But you know what I think is an excellent book? Did you ever read The E-Myth?
I did not.
Oh my gosh, it's an excellent book. And they've revised it. I think it's 2 or 3 revisions.
Well, if you still have a copy, loan it to me.
I will dig it up. I will bring it to you. It's an excellent
My
book.
number one book is almost 100 years old now, but How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Oh, that's a classic.
That changed everything with me. The young realtors that I mentor at work, I'm always like, read this book. It's great. And it's a little bit more of a difficult read now because it is 100 years old. But all the practices are perfect, and they still are. For today, my second book would be Personalities Plus by Florence Littenauer. And I met her several times. Amazing author and speaker, but it's all about personalities, right? So like in any business, but especially in mine now where I'm meeting with couples buying a house, right? So he might be, her division of personalities, the 4 basic personality types were choleric, sanguine, melancholy, and phlegmatic. So it might be like orange, blue. You see the colors too, right? Anyway, so a choleric person is like, hey, CEO type, right? Give me the top 3 things I need to know and I'll make a decision. A phlegmatic is like, speak slow, be calm. If, you're all on one level, that's the best. And I want to know every single detail about the house. Then I need to absorb it. Then I'll make a decision. Mm-hmm. So if you don't know what that personality type, and then you get somebody like me who's a sanguine, I'm the guy that shows up and not sure where my keys are or whatever. And I just want to have fun and have a great time. And, where's the bar?
Yeah, exactly.
And so take that personality type to a phlegmatic. They're kind of like, well, like, do you know what you're talking?
Right.
So knowing personalities is important. That'd be the book I'd say. Those 2 books are my books.
And my absolute favorite book of all time is QBQ. Did you read QBQ?
Not either. You're going to loan both those books to me.
Here, I'm going to tell you this. QBQ, it's like, did either of you guys read QBQ? No? It is... You don't have to be a business owner. You don't have to be... This is just a great book of life. Now, it does help business owners incredibly. But, it's called The Question Behind the Question. And it is outstanding. And here's the best part. It's like 68 pages long. And the book is like, it's like one of those tiny little 4-inch by 8-inch books.
Any pictures?
No pictures, but I could draw some pictures in there for you if you want.
No.
They may be offensive, but Excellent book. You can read it in an afternoon. So that is one you absolutely have to go pick up. QBQ, real quick. It's real easy. I enjoyed the Fred Factor. I thought it was good. But again, books about business, associations, seminars, make sure you're vetting these people out. One of the worst series, there was one called Billionaire in Training or something like that. And this guy wrote a whole series of books, and it was called the Instant series, like Instant Marketer and Instant Success and Instant. Let me tell you something, business owners, ain't no instant out there.
Yeah.
It does not happen.
Yeah.
Right? And so don't fall into this trap because... And the guy, the Billionaire in Training guy, I looked up his net worth. It was like $6 million, which today ain't very much money.
He's been training forever.
Yeah, exactly. This book is 30 years old. I'd like to see you a little bit further on in your progress of being a billionaire than $6 million because it just ain't there. There is no instant success. So, if you see instant in a business book, instantly throw that in the garbage or instantly keep on walking because it's not going to help you in your business journey. Not at all. So, you are listening to the 402 Business Insider on 1400 KLIN and 99.3 FM. We are going to be back for our last segment right after this.
Where Nebraska business owners tell their story. 402 Business Insider on 1499.3 KLIN.
All right, couple minutes left here today. You're listening to the 402 Business Insider, working on our website, which is 402insider.com. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, X. I still call it Twitter.
Yeah.
There's a lesson in business for you right there. Nike, don't ever change your name. Twitter, don't ever change your name. Even if you don't like it, people kind of know it. So there's your marketing business 101. And you did the same thing. When you bought Terrell's, you didn't bring it into Burton's because people were used to hearing Terrell's.
Yeah, my business never had my name attached to it. That way, when I sold it, if they messed up, it's not attached to me.
I never even thought about that.
I did.
That's actually pretty dang smart. And when did you sell your business?
Oh gosh, right the 5 months after the mayor closed everything down.
Oh my goodness. Ugh, what a horrible time that was to be in business and to sell a business, no less.
Yeah, it actually went very well. There were a couple of shops in town that always wanted my business, so it really worked out good that way. But I mean, it's not the best season. Yeah,
they're still around. They're part of Oak
Creek Flowers and Plants, where I sold to.
So Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube. And if you guys want to be on, if you're a business owner, you want to be on, you can reach out to us. Right now, reach out to us through Facebook, but we're going to have all the other stuff on our website when we get that thing up and going. I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors. So gave a little love to Sartor Heyman, the UPS stores, Lincoln UPS stores. Home Design Real Estate Group. Your group is one of our sponsors. Love having you guys. Integrated Behavioral Health. And we're going to talk to all these guys. And we're going to start, giving some liners and giving some more love to them. But first show, we didn't have it all together quite yet, but we definitely love having these guys on board. So very excited about that. Coming up, so next week, a week after next, actually, I'm bringing in Doug Fitzgerald. So Doug was
awesome.
Yeah, I was when Amy called and we started talking. She goes, "I have an opening now on Saturday." I'm like, "Oh, this is great! I'm so excited!" And she goes, "Yeah, Doug's One Shot, One Life is getting put on hold." I'm like, "Oh, I actually love that show."
Oh yeah, I love the book.
And it was funny because series. I heard the first one I heard had Jeff Dostal on it.
Oh, yeah.
I was driving to one of our rentals that we were starting to rehab, and I flicked it on, and they said, Jeff Dostal's on. I'm like, oh, my God. Jeff and I worked together for like 6 years. I love Jeff. And listened to the show. I'm like, this is a good show. Yeah. And now they had to hit the pause button on it, which and Doug's going to tell us all about that when he is in here. So I'm excited to have him.
Yeah,
in here
for Doug in my list of top 10 humans, he's in that group.
Oh wow,
he's a great guy.
Yeah, and it's funny because working in radio for all those years, Doug and I never really crossed paths. I know that we've met, but I'm really excited to have that chat with him. So So this is
great first show.
Yeah, I'm very excited, and I'm excited for our producers. And you guys are going to be back next week, so We will see you guys next week. You're listening to the 402 Business Insider on 1400 and 99.3 KLIN.